Hey guys, Bernie here from Bernie's Zinck Music Studio, and in this lesson we're going to be talking about some basic concepts for soloing over key changes. So hey guys, if you're new here, this is your first time visiting my channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for future videos. Alright guys, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about how to solo over two different keys. And so I've made a backing track. It's a funk backing track. I'm going to provide a link to that at the end of this video. So just click on that link and then you can practice and play along with the same track that I'm using in this video for the purposes of demonstration. So basically, here's how it works. You have two key centers. You have A7 and then for 8 bars, and then it'll go to C7 for 8 bars. So you can't actually play the same scale over that. You need to actually change scales and change keys. So with my guitar students, I always show them this little trick, and we use it as an exercise actually to work on changing scales over different key center sounds. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use 4 different types of scales. We're going to use minor pentatonics, we're going to use blues scales, we're going to use the Mixolydian mode, and we're actually going to use major pentatonic as well. And those are going to give us a whole bunch of different sounds that you can get and you can play over all of these chords, and it'll all sound really good. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to just show you guys the 4 scales that we're going to use, and we're just going to keep it simple. We're just going to keep them in one position. And then we're just going to shift that position when we shift keys. So the first scale we're going to do is A minor pentatonic, and I've got a link to this. I'll put a link to this scale in the description. I made a video about A minor pentatonic earlier, so I'll put that in the description below. So without further ado, here we go. Here's A minor pentatonic. So just in case you have never seen the scale before, here it is. So we'll bring up the diagram, and I'll just play through the scale. Okay, good. Next up is the A minor blues scale. It looks like this and sounds like this. Okay, next up we're going to do the A major pentatonic scale, which looks like this and sounds like this. Here we go. It's got a little bit of a happier tone to it than the minor blues and the minor pentatonic. And then the A Mixolydian mode, which works perfect over an A7 chord. And here's A Mixolydian. A lot more notes in this one. So there's the 4 scales in one position. So when we change to the C7 chord, we're actually going to play the same scales, just starting at the 8th fret. So here's the first one would be C minor pentatonic. Followed by C minor blues. Followed by C major pentatonic. And then lastly, C Mixolydian to go with our C7 chord. So there's all our scales, and now we just gotta have some fun and play with them. So I got my backing track all queued up here, and we're ready to go with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the minor pentatonics first and how that sounds. I'm just going to play over those, and I'm going to show you how it sounds if you play the wrong scale over the chords too. So you'll see what I mean, why we want to change scales. So here we go. We'll just jump right into it. Here's our backing track. So this is A minor pentatonic over the A7. Let's get that bluesy sound. Okay, so here we go. C minor pentatonic over the C7. You see how that sounds really good. Keep playing the same scale over the next chord. This is it's not good, right? It doesn't work. You know, it's not in the same key, right? So that's pretty bad. Now when it comes back to the C7, so now we're back in business again, sounding good. So all my notes sound great now. I'll switch to scales, and it sounds good again. So that's really important that we we change our scales. Now I'm going to do the minor blues next, just a little bit, just to give you an idea. We're just going to add that blue note in there. And of course it's going to sound even bluesier, so here we go. Backing track. So here's what the blues note. And same with the C minor blues. See how that works out really good. That's nice. We like that. And then so now for something different, we're going to try the A major pentatonic sound and the C major pentatonic sound. This is going to be a little more of a happy flavor to it. Here we go. Switch to C major pentatonic. Okay, so you get the idea there. And then finally, we're going to use the mixolydian modes for each of those. So the A mixolydian over the A7, C mixolydian over the C7. Alright, so here we go with the mixolydians. Change. I'm just trying to play sort of the scales and the notes and the scales just to give you guys the idea of the sounds. But the really cool thing that I want to do right now is just basically mix them all together. Okay, so some of the ideas I'm going to play are just going to be like minor pentatonic, minor blues, maybe some major pentatonic, maybe some mixo thrown in there. And sometimes I'll overlap them on top of each other too, but it's all going to sound good. You'll see what I mean. You can be really creative too and just try different things. You always have to be, okay with trying all these different notes together and stuff. So they work individually really well, but they also work together really well make sure you keep your A scales, and your C scales. So here we go. So I'm just going to make some stuff up. Like so. Blues. Major. Pentatonic. Switch. Mixo. Major pentatonic. Minor pentatonic. Blues scale. Blues scale. Mixo. Another thing that's going to make your transitions work really well over two different keys is actually trying to like thread the two keys together. And one way we can do this, and I'll just show you a really quick little example where we would use the A minor pentatonic scale pattern 4, and I'm saying pattern 4 because it's from the caged method, the E shape roots. So this is A minor pentatonic pattern 4 again. And then when we go to the C7, we're going to use C minor pentatonic pattern 3. So this is using the G roots, the G-shaped roots. So that shape, pattern 3, C minor pentatonic, looks like this. So it's actually in the same position. It's in the 5th position on the 5th fret, both of those scales. So I'm going to try to show you guys how that sounds and how it sounds a little smoother instead of like you're starting over in a different position all the time. Alright, here we go. A minor pentatonic. C minor shape. Pattern 3. Now I'm back to my A minor. So that's a really good way to just kind of keep everything concise and your ideas kind of going from one to the next. I'll try another one where I just do more like a really long lick or a really long run, and I go right into the key change. So here's what that sounds like. Have some fun first and play some stuff. Here's the transitional lick. So I was literally like in A minor pentatonic till about here, and then I transitioned into C minor just like that. So that's a really good thing to work on, seeing your shapes sort of right on top of each other and getting used to visualization of all your scale patterns. Alright guys, so if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, hit the notification bell. The backing track is right over here, and the subscribe button is right down there, so make sure you hit that. Enjoy playing the guitar, guys. Practice hard. We'll see you next time.